Hello and welcome to another week of Weekly Psychic Review. Okay, so we're doing this from the 9th to the 15th of September. So yeah, I hope you've had a good week. Thanks for joining me. So how I do the work is I call in my guides, all of those in spirit who love me, and ask them to give you what you need for the upcoming week, to give you all the healing that you need, any tips, techniques, practices, that kind of thing that might go along with the week's information. Okay, so just give me a sec, I'll just seal off, tune in, call my guides in, and we'll get on with the reading. Alright. It's funny, I've never heard it like this and they're telling me to keep going. They're talking about the interdependence of everything. And when they say everything, they actually mean everything. Now what they were showing me was that in a really large machine, and we could call this Earth the machine, every single little nut and bolt and cog and wheel and all that kind of thing, every single piece is essential. Now if one piece breaks down or one piece isn't working properly, then the machine starts breaking down. And it's that realization that it's not about putting pressure, but it's that realization about you knowing how extremely important you are, and that whether you feel like you're on your own or not, you're never on your own, actually, ever. And if you could see the amount, if you could see the amount of people that join you when you come here in spirit, I'm starting to get a bit teary because I can see it actually at the moment. There's stadiums full of people. You know, you imagine a stadium with 80, 120,000 people. You know, that's who are there. I'm going to take those off because I'm starting to cry. That's who's there for you, for each and every person. And if that doesn't give you an understanding about how extremely important you are, it's like what we're trying to say, this is my government, it's what we're trying to tell you, is that without you, you know, being fulfilled, feeling loved, knowing that you're important, knowing that you're essential, it puts pressure on other things. And it's about you really paying attention to your own needs. And it's that thing about when you're feeling good, when you're in a good mood, you know, mindfulness and that sort of thing gets thrown around so often. But when you're in a good mood, when you're feeling good, when you're really in the groove, you know, you notice more around you. You notice when somebody needs a hand. You know, you see people smiling when they smile at you when they walk past. You see kids laughing and playing. You see the beauty of flowers and trees and the earth and all this sort of thing. You know, you're reminded about what is around you. And they're saying what is also around you is you for the other person. You're part of that landscape. You're part of that picture. You're part of that beauty. And then if you go out again, they're saying this is where we come in. This is where there's those stadiums full of people. The stadiums full of angels, and they're all looking out for you. Nobody else. Not nobody else, they just corrected me, but you. And when you start to understand that when you make a decision to love, you know, in any way, what that does is that ripples out And they're just telling me, we feel it. Spirit feels it. Your guides feel it. Other people feel it. You know, how often have you seen, you know, whether it's a couple, whether it's a group of people celebrating, you know, whatever it is, and they're celebrating in joy and love. They're in love with each other, or group of people, you know, and you feel that. It emanates from that group of people, it emanates from that couple or whoever it is. That emanation of that energy goes out to everyone. And everyone feels that. And it's not just people who feel it, but the earth feels it, I'm being told. The grass, the trees, the sky. The sky's energy as well. And they're saying I'm sounding a bit hippie here. And we know how David feels about hippies. I do love hippies, they're cool. It's just sometimes the way people express themselves. But anyway, so getting back to the reading. So it's that thing about realizing that it's so important for you to, you know, get into your groove, to realize your magnificence, and not in an egotistical way. And this is about paying gratitude to yourself. It's about paying gratitude to all there is around you, you know, all there is around you and all that you've created as well. Now, they're saying manifestation's a really big one. People talk about manifesting. And how often do you put yourself in that place of what you want? How often, if you want more money, how often do you put yourself in a place of feeling, being, acting, thinking really rich? You know, if you want love, how often do you put yourself in that place? If you start doing that and you start having gratitude for these things, whether they be very small or very large, when you start seeing those things around you, when you start having gratitude towards those things, it's going to draw that to you. It's that thing, like attracts like, you know. So yeah, get on with the week. They're saying get on with the weekly reading. Okay, so for the start of the week, all right, so the start of the week is about awareness, and this is about having awareness of your thoughts, of your words, of your actions, that sort of thing. And they're saying that if you really want to create a different life or something, manifest something differently, be more aware of what's going on around you and seeing what counteracts that, and seeing how often you put yourself in that place of, you know, wanting that stuff, whatever that is. And it's not, wanting isn't a bad thing at all. You know, it's part of the human experience, I'm being told. So, you know, it's about awareness, so be aware. Okay, so the middle of the week, what's the middle of the week? So the middle of the week's about gifts, actually. All right, this is interesting. So this is about gifts that you give to yourself. You know, what gifts are you giving to yourself? You're giving yourself gifts of, you know, strength and happiness and love and joy. Or you're giving yourself gifts of resistance, of self-deprecation, the saying. Humiliating, you know, putting yourself down, because I didn't know what that word meant, I had to ask. You know, that sort of thing. What are the gifts you're giving to yourself? And then what are the gifts you're giving to others? And that sort of thing. And how can you give more beauty in your gifts to those around you? And sometimes that's about holding space as well. Sometimes that's about walking away as well as holding space. Okay, so the end of the week, what's going on the end of the week? So, all right, this is they're saying it's about staying centered and being mindful, paying attention to what's going on around you. They're saying if you can pick one thing throughout the week. So this is for the end of the week, but they're saying if you can pick, and we've done this before, one word that you can align yourself to, throughout the week. They're saying if you pick abundance, okay, for the start of the week. So at the end of the week, how has that culminated? How have you brought more abundance into your life? How have you noticed abundance around you? Now that's sometimes the key, is about noticing it around you. And when you notice it around you, you're going to start drawing it to you. Could be about joy or happiness or being solid, confident, whatever, you want to do it, that sort of thing. So this is really, it's really about, that manifesting and bringing that to you. And they're saying go back to your notes if you wrote notes about your goals, from, they're saying last week, but then there was also a couple of weeks before that, I'm being reminded. So go back to your notes, what are your goals? Are you staying in line with your goals? Are you staying in line with that manifestation? And if you're not, if that's changed, that's okay. What do you want to change it to? How are you going to do that? And, it's that thing about being really clear about what you would like, and always put or something better on the end of it. Okay, is that it? That's a pretty short one. I don't know if that was short, actually. I kind of lost track of time, to be honest, especially with the tears at the start. So it's been really cool joining you today. I want to thank you for watching me. Thank you for for liking me, for sharing me, for watching me, all that kind of thing. If you would like to have a private reading, counselling, healing, lots of stuff I do, give me a buzz. All the links are below. And, just remember who's important this week. Really remember who's important. You're important. You're super important. Please remember that. And they just want me to say, I can feel them bowing, see them bowing, and they said, we want to say that we love you. Okay, thank you.